When I first met Dave, I guess I was 16, he was 17, he was writing a novel, science fiction novel. And when he finished it, he sent it off to Ace Books in New York. They were the biggest science fiction publishing company in the world at that time. And he waited a couple of months, finally got this thing back. It was returned. He opened up the envelope. The manuscript was inside. It was covered in coffee stains and dog-eared, and there was a note from the publisher on it saying, everybody in the place has read the book, but we don't know what to do with it. So Dave was kind of crushed, but that's not bad for a 17-year-old. His first attempt at a novel. He goes to the biggest sci-fi publisher in the world. So anyways, he lends the book to a friend of his, and a couple of months later gets another letter from Ace Books saying, we'd like to look at the novel again. So Dave goes to his friend's place and he says, I'd like to get the manuscript back. And his friend says, I've lost it. Dave's he couldn't believe it. He was so pissed off at this guy. Of course, being a teenager, and in those days we didn't have printers. He only had the one copy that he typed himself. So it was lost forever. At least it was lost forever until recently when I talked to Dan, his nephew. He said he thinks he found a copy of it in this box with all the photos. So this is like huge, right? This is like, if David being alive, he would just be over the moon. So I'm hoping that it's the actual manuscript. And I tracked down one of the original editors for Ace Books. The guy's probably in his 80s now, but he's still working. He's still working in film and publishing things and editing things. So I actually contacted him and told him this story. I haven't heard anything back. That'd be really cool if we could make a connection with somebody. This guy was actually working in the mailroom at Ace Books when Dave's book showed up there. And 4 years later, he was an editor. So, maybe he remembers something, or he knows somebody that we could talk to that might have been there at that time as well to, just kind of make the story a little bit more interesting.